This is a story of 20 hours of deliberate practice. Like lots of people, I saw Josh Kaufman's TED Talk the first 20 hours, and I liked the idea of getting good at something so quickly. I decided to test out the theory by teaching myself to spin poi. Poi was perfect because I didn't need to be good at it. I just wanted to be able to play with it in the park. Look cool, have fun. I also had a set of nice poi just sitting on my shelf, being ignored. So in May 2014, I started from scratch. All the footage in this video is from the last 20 minutes of my 20th hour of practice. I really timed myself too. Very scientific, very thorough. So here's some of the stuff I learned. I started with the basics. It actually took me about 3 days just to be able to spin opposites and to learn how to stall a little bit. I got the poi tangled all the time, and then I would usually do it again. I was really happy when I learned how to turn with the poi. Backward and forward. I learned opposites and stalling, going backwards, and same time crosses. I was following tutorials on playpoi.com, and honestly I learned some stuff I don't know why I learned. This is called corkscrew, and I guess it's pretty cool. Here I go. My guess is that this would look better if they were lit on fire. What do you think? This is the buzzsaw, and while I'm buzzsawing, just let me recommend playpoi.com. There's a guy over there named Nick Woolsey who does all the tutorials, and he is some kind of teaching genius. This is a 2-against-1 rhythm. I learned it on both sides, and I don't know what it's for. But I learned it in my 20 hours. That would be the point. And here's my first flower. It's the only side that I have it on, and it's kind of over-enthusiastic, but at least I know what flowers are for. You can do lots of pretty things with flowers once you're good at them. This is the 3-beat weave. I love weaving. Weaving makes sense. I love turning it. I love doing it. I love the rhythm of it. It reminds me of juggling, which is something that I used to do quite a while ago and I really haven't done now in years. I kind of cheated on my series of beginner videos in order to teach myself this one. This is called the 4x4 fountain. And I saw it, I just really loved it. I thought it was gorgeous. And of course, Mr. Nick Woolsey has a video on YouTube called Learning the 4x4 Fountain, which I watched about 6 times in a row until one day I finally got it. Even after I had it on one side, it took me just as many practice sessions to teach myself on the other side, even though I understood the pattern by then. It was really strange, but it was worth it. This one makes me really, really happy. This is the 5-beat weave, and it is sometimes a beginner move and sometimes not, but it's just like the 3-beat weave. You kind of wind and unwind, and naturally, Nick has videos on that too. I might have let this clip go on a little bit long, but I was so happy to have a really smooth one caught on camera. And butterflies, yeah. I did not find butterflies easy at all, but I got to the point where I could play with them at least a little bit. A little bit of over the head, a little bit behind the back, you know. Here's some butterfly variations down really low. This one is threading the needle. Here's some Mexican wave stuff overhead. This is pretty fun for a butterfly thing. And finally, the ultimate butterfly trick, 2 in 1 hand. This took me a while. Oops. Here's one that's still really hard for me, switching back and forth between a 3-beat weave, stalling, and coming into butterfly. And you can stall again and bring it back into a weave. I was learning this just in the last 3 or 4 days of practice probably, and it still took me a while to get 2 successful takes on video. Here's more transitioning. This is turning with opposites. You kind of go into or out of butterfly every time you turn 90 degrees. So now I'm just playing, which is what I wanted to do in the first place. I'm not good, not like an expert, but I got good enough to have fun. And I got better than I thought I would. So here's to Josh Kaufman and deliberate practice. This idea has definitely worked for me.